To have and to hold from this day forward, for better or for worse, and maybe for a little extra excitement, a swinging lifestyle? Not typically how the vows go, is it? But when you consider that close to half of the marriages in this country end in divorce, and 30 to 60% of married couples actually end up cheating on each other, could spouse swapping, swinging, whatever you want to call it, could it actually help your marriage become more of an accepted lifestyle? Boy, that is not a topic many people want to talk about, but our fearless Mike Galanos here, not afraid of it. And this is all part of this new segment that you're going to be doing, which tackles the tough issues and the tough questions about faith, morality, values that, you know,
and this is a touchy one.
Tough to bring up.
And let's talk about the gut level reactions when you hear this. First off, in our news meeting, we laugh, we giggle a little bit. It's like, what, Mike going to put on open up his shirt with the gold chains when he does this?
G, keep
no,
it close.
Of course not. Then you peel back another layer and go, wait a minute, do I really want to know about this? Is this really going on near where I live? Chances are it just might be. And then let's get to the heart of this. You pull this back and go, wait a minute, is this trashing marriage or is there something redeeming here? Marriages may be actually being enhanced or spiced up, saved maybe. Here to talk about this, Dr. Charmaine Yost, who's with the Family Research Council, also Levon and Chris. They are self-proclaimed married swingers. They join us now. Levon is the wife, Chris the husband. Let's start with you two, and quick answers here, but give us some details. And first one is, how'd you guys get into this?
We researched it on the internet. It's actually a lot of information there. Researching things of safe sex, and actually swinging came up as a detailed informational piece for it.
Was the marriage lacking, or the marriage bed lacking?
No, marriage wasn't lacking. We have a very strong marriage, strong family. It was pretty much looking for something to do, sitting at home together, kind of like thinking about what can we do sexually to add more spice to it. And swinging came up, and we researched it further and thought, why not?
Okay, a couple other things real quick. Are we talking about, is this orgy style, or are you just pairing off with another couple? What's going on?
It's more of hooking up with another couple. You know, each instance is very different. You know, each couple is different.
All right.
You can do orgy style, but not everyone in the swinging lifestyle does that.
Okay. And you guys enhanced your marriage, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Guys, okay, Dr. Charmaine Yost, let's get you in on this. You heard him, and
yeah,
you know, I may not agree with it, you may not agree with it, but they say it has enhanced their marriage. And you heard the statistics from America: half marriages end in divorce. Sure. Is a swinging marriage better than no marriage at all?
You know, Mike, there's a good reason. You start out by saying that everybody has this gut level reaction against it, and there's a good reason for that. It's because we're just hardwired against having open marriages. It's really a contradiction in terms. The real heart of marriage is making this exclusive commitment to one another. And every single marriage, you know, when you stand in front of the altar and promise to be true to one another, everybody's signing up for the better part. But the worst part does always come. You have to be ready for that. And that's when the real opportunity for growth comes in a relationship.
Okay.
And turning outside is what really undermines that process.
Charmaine, what you're getting at here, and correct me if I'm wrong, that this devalues marriage, and we want to get both sides on this one. But first off, we want to hear from a sex therapist, Jennifer Faust, and hear what she had to say about it. Let's listen.
The concept of marriage is something that we all have to define for ourselves, and that's pretty much what I tell my clients, is that, you know, marriage, what makes marriage work is how each person feels about it and how each person views it. And if two people are in a marriage and they view that this is going to be a benefit or, you know, helpful for them, then that's a good thing. It's certainly not for everybody.
All right, Charmaine, let's start with you on this one. That's kind of a new definition of marriage, and that leads to the question: how does it affect your marriage or the traditions or institution of marriage? What goes on in someone's private marriage bedroom?
Well, you know, I think the really important thing, though, is how it's going to affect this couple. They may get more than they bargained for. You know, people try to sound very sophisticated about it, but someone always gets hurt. And if your bond is not tight enough for it to be hurtful, then that's something you need to look at and figure out why.
Hey, Chris, I see you laughing there. Is that a fear that, hey, in a swapping situation, you might end up with someone that makes you think twice?
Here's the whole deal about it. You know, you look at the statistics of marriage, and marriage is basically getting broke down in every fundamental situation. Our relationship is way closer because me as a husband, I can express my most deepest, darkest desires, whereas a normal marriage, they can't do that. You know, they end up bottling it up, and they end up going to the internet, porn, they end up going to other areas of which, you know, they're not telling their wife what their secret desires are. And that's why a lot of infidelity occurs.
And Levon and Chris, let me ask you this. Charmaine, let me hit them real quick with this. I mean, isn't that why you got married, though, in the first place? Back to Charmaine's point is, you want to grow old with one person and share just that experience of growing old without any memories of somebody else through the years.
Swinging actually does not mean you're not going to grow old with the person that you're with. It just means that you're adding something. It's like going to a roller coaster ride. Just because I'm going to go ride this favorite ride doesn't mean I'm not going to go back to the other rides. It's the same thing. People change in their desires. 7-year itch. How many of us have heard that? When you have a 7-year itch, all of a sudden that man is out there buying a $50,000 car to relieve that itch. No, that doesn't happen. They cheat. That's what happens. We don't have that problem. Yes, swinging is not for everybody. That is absolutely true. If there is already a problem in your relationship, swinging is not going to fix it at all. We say that definitely is true in every relationship.
All right, LaVon and Chris, it's working for you. Charmin, let me ask you, just having this conversation, I mean, does this tell you maybe in some areas society's going down the drain?
What it tells me is that people don't fully understand that there is something lost when you give up on that fundamental core of marriage. Exclusivity, monogamy is the engine that drives it forward. And we've lost sight, and because of the breakdown of community in our culture, we don't always have that intergenerational transfer of knowledge about how to make a long-term marriage work.
All right, Dr. Charmaine Yost and LaVon and Chris, great stuff. We appreciate all of your input on this one.
Mike.
And we'd like to hear from you as well. Email us. Go to the website, cnn.com/prime news, that is, and click on, you can email us, video mail us.
And can't wait to hear about this, because it's one we could have kept talking about. I know the folks at home will talk about it. We're going to bring you much more Prime News after this.